Hello friends, Ari the Rusty Pilot, and I just left the airport about 10 minutes ago or so, and I'm headed back up to another work thing. But wanted to record a quick video while it's still fresh in my head. Today was not a flying day. I didn't fly the airplane again today. It's the second time that I've just been on the ground, but that's how we planned it. And as we were planning, I was like, oh, maybe the weather will be nice or whatever, but it ended up being a pretty crappy day again. So I'm glad that we didn't have a flight scheduled, because then I would have been disappointed that we canceled it, because we probably wouldn't have flown. So in any case, it was another ground lesson, and we're working on the BFR, Biennial Flight Review, and it's been a really interesting process. I learned a really valuable lesson today, and I wanted to share it with you. BFRs are not about making sure that you're confident with yourself to fly. The skills and the knowledge that you have, that doesn't matter to the flight instructor that's conducting your BFR. A BFR is making sure that the instructor knows that you are able to fly. And there are a lot of things that might come up in a BFR that you might sit there and say to yourself, why does that matter? Why should I care about that? And you probably don't. Like, for example, we were talking about an airport today, which is Anacortes. It's just north of Seattle. It's probably, 50 miles north of town or so. And the airport sits underneath the upper shelf of Class C airspace, Class Charlie airspace. And we started talking about what were the equipment requirements. Do you need a radio? Do you need a transponder? And in my head, at first, I was thinking to myself, why does it matter whether or not you need it? The airplane that I'm going to be flying has all of those things. It has a transponder and it has radios, and it's equipped to go into flight in a Class B, Class Bravo airspace. So why do I care whether or not what the minimum equipment is? Well, that's not the point. The point of the exercise is not to say your specific application, because a BFR isn't about you flying with that person in their airplane. A BFR is about the instructor saying, these are the things that you need to do to make sure that, for him or her, to make sure that you know how to fly in whatever the situation is and whatever the equipment is. Because there is lots of different airplanes out there, and you might be in the left seat of any of them at any time. And so we started to talk a little bit about night flight today also, flying at night. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't have any plans to fly at night. Not yet, at least. And it's that part. It's that not yet, at least, right? Because the instructor is signing your logbook. The FAA has given him the authority to say that you are ready to fly. When he signs that logbook, or she signs that logbook, he is telling me, Grant is telling me, at that moment, you're safe to fly in the type of airplane that you are licensed to fly. And it's not unless you're flying at night, or unless you're in a different airplane than the one specifically that we've been planning to do our checkout flight in. That's not the point. And that was a big eye-opening moment for me. That taking on the responsibility of a pilot, we talked about weather today, and as pilots, we're kind of meteorologists. We need to be able to look at charts, not just aviation charts, but we need to look at weather charts, and we need to see what the forecast is. And if I'm planning to take a flight in 3 days with some friends, can I look that far out in the weather charts? And that's what being a pilot is about. It's about taking on that responsibility and being able to say, no, it's not just a Cessna 172 SP model that has dual nav comms and a GPS, and I carry a separate GPS receiver, and so why does it matter? And so if you go to my last video and you watch how I did my flight plan to get from Renton down to Hillsborough, what you're going to see is me talking about VOR waypoints, imaginary points on a map that I know how to find using those radio receivers, and I know how to find using an app on or looking at GPS receivers. I know how to find those places. But what if those fail? Being a VFR pilot is not about being able to use the technology that's in the airplane, no matter how current or how antiquated it is. Being a pilot, a current VFR pilot, is about being able to use any of the equipment. As long as the airplane is okay to fly, I'm licensed to fly it, and that's what this BFR process is about. It's not about whether or not I can have the skills to fly this airplane on this day. It's about, do I have the skills to be able to fly any airplane that is licensed to fly that falls within the certification criteria, the types of airplanes that I am licensed to fly. That's what my certificate says. PPASEL, Private Pilot Airplane Single Engine Land. And so any airplane that says that is airplane single engine land, I can fly it. And maybe it doesn't have VORs because it doesn't need it. Maybe it doesn't have a transponder because it doesn't need it in most of its life. So when I'm underneath the Class C airspace, even if the airplane that I'm planning to fly has that was a real eye-opening experience for me today, and that was my big lesson today. I mean, I learned a lot of other great stuff, and I'm going to talk about checklists a little bit more, I think, in my next video, because checklists are really important, not just for the airplane, but for yourself also. So that's in the next video. If you're going through a BFR process right now, I would love to hear any aha moments that you had, any big eye-opening moments or aha moments. Leave a comment down below, click the like button, click the subscribe button, all the things. I'll see you next time.